The Call of Duty League is brought to you by ActiveStat, the next-generation analytics platform built with Google Cloud that brings fans, players, and commentators the power of competitive statistics in real time. Presented by USAA Insurance. They make it easy to insure your stuff like rigs and gear, and they have your back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day 3 of the Stage 5 Major. There you see a shot of some fans. I was told the line was around the block in preparation for our matches today. And oh boy, could we not be more excited to see everybody now in person. It's going to be an absolute blast as our first series is just a matter of moments away from kicking off. The LA Thieves taking on the New York Subliners. Stud, this is going to be an absolute blast. You see the folks, you see the crowd out there, they're getting hyped. We absolutely love to see it, and it's awesome to see you all with us. I think what Lottie said, it's been 511 days, and the hype could not be more intense. I think, was that a WWE Championship belt? This is great. We got everything.
Yeah, I'm so excited, man. We have a great matchup. The fans are back. You can just tell the energy is going to be in the arena today. But with both of these teams, obviously New York trying to continue that Cinderella story, LAT trying to get into that Final Form with John, man. So this is going to be a great matchup for both of these teams. Obviously for New York, it's going to be a little bit more of a difficult task to try to get done because LAT, they've been looking great versus a lot of these top teams. So we're in for a great first match.
Yeah, we absolutely are, and we'll start this bad boy off by meeting a team that pulled off a crazy series yesterday. They were down 0-2, but they managed to make the reverse sweep. As we said, it's been a change of the guard. It's a new roster coming into the end of Stage 5 and now into the Major. Let's go ahead and meet the New York Subliners.
First blood, he just jumps on in, a flurry of kills through. Mac though, Mac gets 3. What a second half of the hard point he had. Nails all 4. The ace for Big Mac. Upward timing, he gets flushed out. But a Seaman Mac, that crossfire so good. A seam, all 4, give it to him. Takes down the entire side of FaZe.
Just an efficient work right now. Is Hydra, he has the entire team straight in front of him, gets a couple shots. Now look how much he just slows them down.
Can he get the defuse player? He does. 23 seconds left on the clock. One more to deal with for Clay. This would be massive.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, your New York Subliners. You see him there. Who is that? Is that Hydra? They're picking up Hydra. Love to see it, embracing the crowd. As we said, NYSL off of the reverse sweep yesterday versus the Florida Mutineers. Stud, what impressed you the most about that victory?
Them coming back 0-2 by winning 3 offenses on checkmate. That's something we do not see ever, at least all year long, man. The fact that that map went down to straight 5 offensive wins was insane to me. These guys have the clutch. There's a bunch of young guns on this roster, so they have that energy. But the biggest thing that I took away from Mac's interview yesterday was him saying that they were super composed throughout the entire series. Even going down 0-2, they knew that they had the ability to bring it back, and it definitely showed as they clutched up in that reverse sweep.
And now I feel like the question, and I know we've talked about this a lot, Studio, it's about, okay, now being on LAN, but now this is the official LAN experience, right? You've got the crowd, they've been loud, they have been amazing so far. How does that change things up? As we said, a younger group, granted, they were able to pull off a reverse sweep yesterday on LAN, but now with the crowd, how do you think that changes with a young group like this?
Let me tell you, when you're playing in front of a crowd, it's the best feeling ever, man, because it just gives you so much extra energy. Even when you're down 0-2, there's still people in the crowd cheering for you, and that's going to be that extra battery in your back to give you some more energy going through the rest of the series. And for these young players, this is going to be all brand new to them. I'm excited to see how Hydra, how Mac can react with the crowd being as loud as they usually are.
Yeah, and absolutely. And we talk about one team, you know, that's kind of getting used to that crowd experience. The other roster that now sits on the other side is a team that's incredibly familiar with this atmosphere. They've been here not just once, they've been here for years. When we talk about world championships, they have seen the biggest stages. Let's go and meet the squad that now sits on the other side, your LA Thieves. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the LA Thieves now to the stage. They've been here a few times, stud, off of the very close series they had versus the Toronto Ultra. They took the Ultra all the way to a Game 5, and this roster is feeling very good. You got Draza, Flex, and Kitty. They're feeling good, and so it's good to see the team's feeling that good, considering, like we said, they are off of a loss. But boy, have they gotten better and better as every series progresses.
Yeah, and this is my dark horse team for this tournament, and just watching them, you can tell they've been in this situation before. Looking at all those fans, they know what the noise is like, and that's going to be a huge factor in this series here. I'm looking at basically Kenny to have an unbelievable series. The guy is unbelievable with that main assault rifle, and he's going to have to try to go big, because the way that Mac at least ended out that series yesterday versus Florida, he was on point. Kenny needs to be there to match him.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we said, you see the group of 4 here, and it's been an interesting season for the LA Thieves. We talked about a number of different roster changes. I mean, everybody outside of Kenny has been involved in one at some point or another. But as we mentioned, they bring in John from the Challengers, as he was playing great there. He's obviously making his debut now in front of a crowd for the first time in a very long time, as he didn't play back in MW. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting to see how this group prepares for the environment that this organization has made them for. But now, stud, our game fuel keys to victory. What do we got here for the Thieves?
Yeah, so right off the rip, that S&D has been their weakest mode. They must improve in that today if they want to make a run. 3 players are underneath for 1.0 KD. You can't have that today. You need to make sure that you're securing those S&Ds. And then also, Slasher, he's been dominant in hard points. So far throughout the major, even though it was one match, going up against the Ultra, having a 1.43 is completely insane. You're going to need that. I mean, need him to continue playing at that high level. And then also, if you lock up the control, you'll most likely be able to win this series, because that has been the game mode that this new NYSL roster has been relying on, as they're sitting on 3-1 ever since this roster has been formed. Yeah,
as you mentioned, just some great points, some big things to keep in mind for the LA Thieves. It is going to be a battle with that regards to how this one is going to shape up. Now, our game fuel keys to victory here for the New York Subliners. They must be on point today, but especially in the search and destroy, they have to capitalize on what has been a Thieves' weakness as of late. And as you said it, buddy, Mac needs to start off hot. Granted, he did lead the reverse sweep yesterday versus the Mutineers, but they need him to start off in this hardpoint. And on topic with hardpoint, this one has to improve versus the Thieves. Stage 5 hardpoint has not been the greatest when we talk about this Thieves crew, or rather for this Subliners crew. And so this was a mode that this team has heavily relied upon, throughout a majority of their past. As we'll be taking a look at Checkmate hardpoint to start off, standoff S&D, raid control there in the middle, Apocalypse hardpoint for game 4. And if it comes down to it, very interesting Miami search and destroy. What's done on top of the vetoes, off of the maps and modes that we're going to have. Anything that stands off the page to you?
At least the first 3, because I feel like Checkmate, we saw LA play versus the Ultra, and they were able to walk away with that W. But then on the opposite side for that map number 2, NYSL are currently 6-0 on standoff. And we saw them clutch up yesterday in that series versus Florida. So they have to try to win that search and destroy to at least make the series tied at 1 of each, because I think LA Thieves are going to be able to walk away with this first one. But if New York don't respond with that search and destroy in game 2, then I feel like LA Thieves should be able to walk away with this.
Alrighty, folks, we are just moments away. Checkmate hardpoint to start off day 3 of our stage 5 major. As we said, the stakes are high. Loser of this series, they're sent home. Granted, both of these teams will, in fact, be at champs, at playoffs, but it cannot be understated what it means to be in this moment. Here we go, stud. It's going to be a fun one. And Kron, I'm going to ask you for a little bit of help. Can I get a little bit of help? It's the first time in 511 days that we've had fans at an event. Can we make some noise for our first map?
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
I like that. I like that. That'll do for now. That'll do for now. But here we go, stud. Into our first map. Thieves versus Subliners. Checkmate. Hardpoint to start. And we are looking to the eyes of Draza to start. He's got that Krig out. But it's over toward the top side of P1. Inside of the plane we go. It's the Subliners on the non-preferred side, as that's going to be 3 straight in the feed for LAT. Subliners licking their wounds already in the back of the base as ASIM falls as well.
Yeah, so now the Thieves, they're going to be able to take control of this P1. And with 40 seconds, you know that NYSL, they're going to have to start thinking about that rotation. But they find 3 kills in towards the plane. Now that's going to be able to get some more time on the clock off of this initial hard point. But you see what they're doing. They're picking up a couple kills and immediately trying to push through, trying to flip these spawns for the Thieves and trying to chain that P1 to P2. But so far, the Thieves are not budging. They're giving up this time on P1, but they make sure that they're securing those spawns for P2.
And one guy that we're going to be looking at a lot in this series is going to be the guy that sits on your screen. Hydra, the French phenom, joined this team in the middle of the season. Really his first opportunity to play in front of a crowd as well. And we've been able to see what he has the ability to do. Unbelievable talent as he and the rest of the sublaners will start off P1 in a great fashion. 43-10 as now we head toward Yellow Crate. Thieves with preferred spawns, and they are set up for this fight, but we'll see how they look to handle it. As it's Hydra, it's Mac, it's Asim. They're combining for 3. That is a clean 4 down. Subliners walk right through.
They break in, and that's going to be a force free for Hydra, so now they flip the spawns, and this is exactly what New York wanted. You get a good chunk of time off of that P1. Now, with 30 seconds remaining on this P2, you can grow this lead drastically because you see the way the Thieves are playing. They're not even going to try to push this. They do not want to flip towards the backside of that P2 once again. But Hydra, still in that 5 speed, trying to pick up some early streaks now.
Right on cue. They get the notification that the contest is inbound. Slasher there to take him down, but if you're NYSL, you're at least happy with what you've been able to do to start off this game. And what, as this hill comes to a close, they're going to be sitting at just over 80 points to the 16 of LAT, and at really the worst time possible. As the hill gets ready to pop up toward bottom plane, you see it's NYSL. They are answering back in a major way. 2 versus 1 inside of the middle of the map, but it's Draza making the overall difference. And with his rotation, now we'll set up the pinch. He takes down Asim as well. That's 2 in a row. The Alaskan Assassin as he'll look to lead the charge for the Thieves. Still yet for anybody to get inside of the hill.
Yeah, but right now, Thieves, the main focus for them has to be making sure that they're keeping these spawns for that P4 to P5. They have it. They're doing a great job of just trading kills right now, so Thieves are slowly but surely climbing back into this game. All of New York starting to spawn out towards the back Yellow Crates. The pressure's still going to be here, but Thieves uncontested right now. With 20 seconds left, you have to start thinking about that rotation. And number 1, which is going to be John, picks up 1 kill, but he's going to have a huge engagement coming up on this P4 hardpoint.
Instantly the pressure put on the Thieves as it's Diamondcon winning a fight toward one side. John does win the fight versus Mac over at A Street. So LA Thieves set up well, but it's not going to be an easy task to bring this one back. They do have preferred spawns, and we'll see how the communication sounds at this point. In the first set of rotations, we'll step aside and go to our Astro Listen now with the LA Thieves.
P5 pillar.
P5 pillar dead.
I'm blocking.
In the crate. One shot of crate.
I hit him a lot.
He's challenging. Nice one. I still out, John.
I'm gonna try to help time.
Okay.
Let's fork green.
Yeah, one more front of me.
Fork.
Alright, I'm trying to get plane, bros. Are they in plane, Zach, or no?
No, they should
be. Hit low right. I'm playing ready. Plane, Hydra, one shot, plane. Top plane, one shot. Absolutely. In our inner.
Top left, Asim, one shot.
Our inner.
What's gonna be the side?
Yeah, it's to the side.
I need a town.
Stop playing.
I'll see in front.
He'll be front, bros. I hit him with 2. Double flash on the left, bros. Double flash on the left.
Alright, we're holding it. Push up.
Yeah.
Need pillar. Front is open. When you guys look at it?
Town left, back, weak.
Yeah, I'll try to push up.
Okay, hit the left a minute.
I'm trying to help you left.
I'm gonna need both.
Looking left pillar.
I'm gonna
you're gonna top left plane.
Pillar,
diamond. Two plane.
Yeah, I'm spawning out.
He's close that pillar.
I'm a push.
I'm a pinch
To be exit.
This guy's still on hold.
I'm a pillar push.
Still close up.
Exit.
I don't see him.
Exit, Hydra.
Exit.
He's top right.
One's gonna jump at me.
Two pillars.
I got pillar on me,
Is he
Mac.
front of you?
Top plane.
Yeah, top plane.
Pillar. One shot.
Honestly, got plane.
In plane.
There's two.
Top right. Asim, one shot front. Literally both.
Nice. I'm pushing left.
I need a trophy, guys. I need a trophy.
I'm in plane.
I'm all left, bro.
I have a trophy on you.
Top plane back. Absolute top left lane.
I'm in top plane right now.
He's top left one
Go
shot.
left on you. Stay up. I have a plane.
Yo, they're needing me.
Left diamond. One shot dead.
Nice going. I
Top
can help
plane,
front. Nice. I can help
Give me another
front.
plane. I'm in
What's that? Somebody? I need help.
I help.
Zach,
I have your front.
Exit. One shot.
Yo, exit.
To our plane.
Jumped out yet?
Yeah, they jumped out.
I haven't jumped out.
I'll push. I'll help left.
Exit one shot. He went in the plane.
Close front. Cardi box.
Nice. I'll take exit.
Cardi box. Hydra.
He's still there. One's exit.
I can need exit.
Exit dead.
Exit.
Forward.
Weak.
Shot from wood. In the wood. He have the one shot. Keep it left.
Wood, Hydra. And close time. Mac, barely weak.
He's our exit, bro. Our exit.
Our exit, yeah.
Telephone. One shot. Ace him.
Hydra's our exit. What's the old guys?
Not challenge me. I'm
I got him exit.
Nice. I'm staying love.
Hydra's still old, right?
Yeah. Nice. I'm top left lane.
You can be PS.
All right, Stud, how'd you feel about the comms and the way that Thieves played the end of that first side?
I loved all the small talk, especially out of Kenny. Right now, he's not having too hot of a game, but That's usually when you're that player not having a hot game, your call-outs tend to diminish a little bit. But right there, he was just keeping it up for his team, making sure that they were able to get back into this one as they were able to chain that P4 to P5 and eventually take the lead. Now off the rotation towards P1, though. John able to find 2. Still, the spawns coming in favor of NYSL right now as they do pick up another couple kills. This is great work from New York. They just have to try to get a good chunk of time here because we saw the way that they played that P2 last time. They can definitely try to do it again.
Great position right now are the subliners, despite what has been a great comeback as of late for LA. Hydra does get dropped on the side of the wing, and with that, subliners actually do spawn out, so keep that in mind. You've got 2 on the right, 2 on the left if you're looking at your mini-map. This could work out for the New York subliners. However, LA, they might realize the advantage that they've now been given. That's going to be the first one for Mac. Draws of the trade. Diamondcon drops, and just like that, LA Thieves, they flipped the spawns. They found themselves in a good spot, and they're capitalizing on it as well with Hydra falling. The subliners are now back to square one toward A Street, where they're coming from. And how about this turnaround from the Thieves? I mean, Stud, what, they were down a good 60, 70 points, now up 20 themselves, and look good for the remainder of this hill.
Yeah, this is great work from the Thieves, man. To chain that P4 to P5 to get back into this one, get some good time off P1, but then immediately flip the spawns as P2 started.
Oh, come on.
This lead is starting to grow. Draza picking up 2-piece on a 5 spree right now, trying to get some early streaks, but Diamondcon is going to shut him down. But with 15 seconds left, Thieves aren't mad at all. They have just been playing flawless hardpoint ever since the ending of that first rotation, so that's all going to come down to this P3. And you see the way that New York is set up. They're trying to trap the LA Thieves players towards that back P2.
See how it works out for them. Flasher hunting, searching. Last time we saw him on Checkmate Hardpoint was in the Game 4 versus the Toronto Ultra. What, he had like a 36 and 23 game, 5,500 damage. Really looking at the ARs to start to step up, and right on cue, DC. A nice little long-range shot, really just to keep the LA Thieves at bay. Hydra says, you know what, 74U is nice, but the Craig, it feels just that much better. Now sitting on 4 in a row as NYSL. Now sitting pretty inside of the hill. Draza wins 1 jump on the other side. And with that, the Thieves once more in stride, winning their 1v1s.
And this is where it gets scarier because you see a couple of NYSL players starting to spawn out towards back B2. So Thieves, they were able to flip it. They just haven't been able to find any kills as New York finds 3. They're trying to get on this junk time. Hydra just put 3 in the kill feed, make it look easy. As New York are down by only 20 points, they're going to be early off to this P4 off the rotation. And if you're Thieves, this can get scary, man. Draza has to try to go big off the pinch, and with that kill on Hydra, it's going to slow down that pressure from New York on this hard point.
John from the skies, he actually gets dropped. It's Asim now with 3 in a row. He takes down Draza, who was trying to make a flank, and right inside of the hill, right on cue, Asim replies with 2 big ones. Kenny's still struggling at 13 and 25, but take a look at that from the subliners. They have grabbed preferred side for the next hill, and also are put in a pretty good spot to try and contest over here at A Street. But as we know with A Street, long lines of sight, those Krigs are going to really be put to good use. And so despite the Thieves losing the favorable side, they are gaining a decent amount of seconds on this P4. But 2 players toward the opposite end. Again, spawns across the map right now on Checkmate. But all is stable for NYSL with 10 seconds left. It's going to be 30 more points left for the Thieves to call this one done. So we'll see how the subliners look to hold now.
They have to hold this push. You cannot allow the Thieves to try to flip these spawns right off the rip, and it all starts with just opening up with the engagement. Even though Hydra gets 1, he should still be able to spawn right behind his teammate, so that's going to slow down the pressure from the Thieves. But their main focus is trying to flip this. You see all the pressure coming through the backside of that plane. The scene going big on the backside, at least finding 1. As you already see, 1 New York player starting to spawn out. The pinch is coming in from John, and Thieves, they were able to break in.
Successful break already for the Thieves, but keep in mind the subliners, they're still spawning back here. NYSL, they've not officially lost the spawn as of yet, and John, in a major fight, just looking to put in every single second that he can. Thieves now within 10, tries to go for the turn on to Hydra, but it's the trade from Slasher. Even back and forth, half the lobby falls. The pressure cannot be understated from the subliners, as they've not got just hold this time, but they've also got to go for the rotation. And this is going to be a very difficult task for the boys in yellow here, Stud. As we mentioned, 10 more points for the Thieves left to go. And now it's Kenny. It's Kenny on the flank. That's going to be 1. That's going to be 2. Nearly finds the 3rd, but the trade is in. And with that, the subliners trying to hold on. And Hydra will. Hydra's holding on to the hard point, comes around the corner. He gets dropped as well, but it's the Thieves with the time. Mac starting to realize what could be happening as John falls as well. 5 more points, but the Subliners are not giving this one up as Slasher drops. It's going to be a contest. It's a contest in the hill. Thieves, 5 more points. And in the midst of this fight going on as well, Stud, the Subliners, they've got themselves prepared for P2. If they can hold on for a little bit longer, they've got that preferred spawn, but they cannot afford to drop. Diamondcon on 52 HP, just trying to stay alive. Again, the Subliners, it's just a matter of delaying. It's a matter of keeping this one at bay. Diamondcon alive, Slasher's able to find one. Asim and Diamondcon just trying to stay alive. 10 more seconds on the hill. Slasher has to go for the challenge, but as he falls, it's all on McKinney, and they're not going to be able to win it here. They're not going to be able to win it here. It's off to the next hill.
And now New York, they're going to be fully set up for this P2 hardpoint. The Thieves, they have to get the pressure on. You see John with a great open onto that nade with a seam. Pressure has to be here, though. John has to try to go big, eliminate this player from the point, and he's able to do so. Draws upon the second. Thieves break in. They are going to be able to walk away with map number 1.
What a start! What a start! Back and forth we went. The Subliners had a chance. It looked good for a moment, but as we said, Stud, just the way that the Thieves began this hardpoint, or rather had themselves in control, it put the Subliners in a bind. They had to do so many different things. They held P1 for as long as they could, but it was just a matter of time before this hardpoint dominant roster in the Thieves broke on in, as that will be their 3rd hardpoint victory here at the Stage 5 Major.
Such an insane hardpoint, man. New York, they did what they needed to do. They contested that P1 all the way to the very end. But that sticky nade onto John to start those engagements is what really opened it up, man. He finds that kill and then immediately jumps out the plane, finds the second one on towards the point, and then Draza finds the third as well. They were just able to apply so much pressure, having that numbers advantage, that they were able to close out in the final moments and take that map 1.
Yeah. Crazy finish already to start off the day. As we said, folks, it's going to be a long day, but this is the best way to start it off. A back and forth checkmate hardpoint, but it is the LA Thieves responding early, and this was a big conversation coming into this series, Stud. It's not just about, obviously the fans being here, which is huge, but it's who can get that early momentum considering how important hardpoint has been for both of these rosters. But it is the LA Thieves answering early here on Checkmate, folks. When we come back after this short break, it is Search and Destroy on a good old map called Standoff.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the US Army. What's your warrior? Presented by USAA. Getting insurance with USAA is easier than level 1. Learn more at usaa.com/insurance.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back. First map is already in the books, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at our Astro Social soundboard. You see Coach JP talk about this crowd is so hype, man. Feels good to be back. And, well, we love some good old Mud Dog. Eric Sanders saying we are back. Hashtag CDL 2021. Oh man, we absolutely love the fans. They have been so electric already to start. And fans, was that a first good hard point? Did we like that first map? I thought we did. I thought that we might have. I thought we might have enjoyed the first hard point, as it has been a great start to this series. And tell you what, Stud, like I said, that first hard point and how important it is in regards to momentum. How much do you think that that hard point came down to experience?
I don't think it came down to experience. I just feel like the Thieves, just listening to the crowd, you know, in those final moments, they know exactly what that feels like. So yeah, it might actually come down to experience, because John, he's a guy that's done it at the biggest stage. He's an MVP of a world champion. So just finding those opening engagements is exactly what he needs to do to close out that map for his team.
Yeah, absolutely. John is going to be a major player that we talk about, not just in this first hard point, but throughout the remainder of the series. But folks, our Game 2 Search and Destroy is just a matter of moments away. But first, a quick word from our sponsor.
We made USAA insurance for renters who make the most of their space and money. That's why we make it easy to cover the stuff you love for as little as 33 cents a day. USAA, what you're made of, we're made for.
Alrighty, Stud. Standoff Search and Destroy now just a moment or two away. And like we said, we talked about that first hard point. Obviously, it's kind of sting if you're the sub-blinders. We talk about momentum. We talk about hard point in general. But what? Standoff Search and Destroy, it's been pretty good for these guys, all things considered.
Yeah, they're 6-0, undefeated. And obviously, a majority of that record comes from when Clayster was on the roster. But still, yesterday in that series versus Florida, they were able to clutch up all the way into Game 5. But this is still a dangerous map, because if you remember, when the Thieves played the Ultra, it was on Game 5. They had multiple situations where they had the man advantage, and they just couldn't clutch up. So hopefully today they have fixed those little mistakes, because this is going to be a great S&D map for both of these teams.
Yeah, as you mentioned, both teams familiar with this map already here on LAN at the Stage 5 Major, as you referenced. LAT losing this one to Toronto. But New York actually most recently played this in their series versus the Mutineers. It was the game that did complete the reverse sweep, a crazy Game 5, round 11. We can only hope we could have a series potentially like that in our midst. But again, it's Subliners versus Thieves, elimination game. Loser of this series is going to be headed home. But here we go off the start. It is fun to see Standoff in front of a crowd again. It's been some time since this bad boy has seen the light of day, but we are already into it. Right into the round number 1. Diamondcon brought down low here for the attacking squad, 42 HP, but it's Drazah getting the first taste of gunfire as Hydra will claim that first blood. Keeping things in mind, Diamondcon still toward the back of the base here for New York.
Super aggressive from New York in the very first round to just 3-man hit towards back alley. And you see the rat back starting to come in. They have the man advantage now. They know that Diamondcon is still in the back of their base, so no one has managed to sneak through. Now, what bomb site do they decide to work through? As the seam, he finds himself in Grandma's. This position is going to be called out. So it's all on him staying alive, but it's looking like New York are going to try to attack this B bomb, and just have to keep in mind where this player in John is. John is going to be top out, and he's able to find one.
Here's Johnny. That's going to be the first. Also has... Oh, he had some information onto Mac, but Mac attack just quickly focus his attention where he needs to, as Kenny taking the head of Diamondcon away. Now it's down to Asim and Mac versus John, Kenny, and Slasher. A 2 versus 3 and 15 seconds left to get down that bomb. Kenny tagging Asim up a decent amount as John will be there for the pinch. Slasher does get lost in the midst of the fury, but with 5 seconds left, Asim has got a lot to do and not a whole lot of time to do it. He drops, Kenny takes the engagement, and Thieves find the first round.
And that's what we're talking about, the clutch factor for the Thieves. In the series versus the Ultra, they had man advantage. Right there, they had the man disadvantage, but they still able to clutch up. No one tried to be a superhero. It was all on John, though, evening up the numbers with that kill, and then eventually finding the second onto Diamondcon. Thieves are able to clutch up. Now they're going in on the offense.
John's got quite a bit of experience on this map, as we mentioned, just given his history.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure a few of the players and subliners were even alive at that moment. Hydra, all jokes aside, we absolutely love you. Anyway, here we go. Into the round number 2, we talk about John, and there he goes. Right to the respawn screen. Rather, not the respawn screen, but the death cam, rather. Hitting L1, R1, and how close are these guys? Drazah, Diamondcon, nearly smell each other toward the tractor. It's been a hard day of work, but Drazah able to drop the first. He gets taken down. Kenny on the tank says goodnight. And now it's Asim and Hydra with the advantage, but Slasher now evens it out to a 1 versus 1.
1v1 with 50 seconds. This is what Mr. Liddy Goat lives for. But Hydra, he's actually going to go for the full flank, and Slasher's going to be able to spot him. So now how does he decide to play this? Slasher's going to go for the challenge. Knows that Hydra is an aggressive player, but you have to try to work this bomb plan. So Slasher's just going to leave him there. Eventually try to pick up this bomb. But Hydra, he's not slowing down. He's just pushing straight through, and I don't think Slasher's going to be able to read this. As Hydra's going to come up behind him, he's going to be able to see him approach that bomb, but Slasher's not going for the plant.
Oh my
This might work out beautifully.
He has no idea. He has no clue. Slasher, oh! Take it down from behind. That fight, I feel like, could have gone a number of different ways, stud. That felt like a lifetime with how long these guys were alive. And props to Slasher, obviously, well-deserved of the best play of the game, best play of the round. It could have been, in quotes there, been the hat trick, but it is Hydra tracking him down. So many moments, though, where I feel like COD timing could have come in and just totally changed the direction of the round, but it's Subliners with good fortune here in round number 2. And speaking of the French Phenom, a big 3 in a row now puts him at 4-1, leading the lobby in total kills after 2.
So now back in the offense. Obviously, the first go-around, they were aggressive in towards back alley, but this time they're going to be aggressive towards bottom brown as Hydra does find another first blood. The trade is immediately in as Slasher finds that nade onto a seam, but there's so much pressure right here. So much bullets flying across the map that LA Thieves are going to win the trades. Now it's a 3v1, all left up to Diamond Con.
I mean, that was beautiful. I know the Olympics are on. That was perfectly synchronized out of the Thieves. Synchronized swimming as they are feeling quite good right now. Diamond Con into the 1 versus 3. And granted, very, very tactical player. I mean, we talk about him being a rookie, but does not appear to be one in these type of situations. But with 40 seconds left, so much to do. And again, if you are looking at the bottom left side of your screen, you've got all 3 players perfectly grouped up right now from LA, not wanting to give anything away without the instant trade. As we said, bomb in an awkward spot. Diamond Con has checked every single bit of the map. The Thieves are ready and waiting. They are inside of Deli. They drop him, and now they find their second.
It's just the aggression right off the rip, man. Whoever was able to win these engagements, at least with the pressure in towards bottom brown, was going to be able to walk away with the round. And the fact that the Thieves are able to find 2 without a trade happening, 1v3 is going to be pretty impossible for Diamond Con to try to clutch up at this state. But now for LA Thieves, back on the offense they go. You saw how they tried to play the first round. They just basically tried the full sprint onto A, and John was caught with a pistol in his hand. So you don't want to allow that to happen again, but this time they're going to take control of Statue. Bomb is working in towards Courtyard.
Bomb in the back of John. Austin out some utility, get the information early as Kenny will be there. Tag up Asim. And weakened already, NYSL has to group on back, get back to their base, and to find that first blood. But hey, if you're Thieves, you've rewarded yourself with an A bomb site. Congratulations. We'll see what they do with that advantage, that opportunity. But Asim, all the smarter, not trying to give that one away for free. Once again tagged up. That will now set up Diamond Con. Still actually get naded. A nice nade comes through from John, and Draws is there on the reply as well. A quick 2 down. As the Thieves are now left to plant down the bomb. They're going to be good for this, if not Hydra. Hydra comes right around the corner, and that bomb was not planted. So 30 seconds left. That now puts LA in a totally different situation as Draza winning a major one there versus Mac. Now, all on to Hydra. 20 seconds left. Draza has appeared to go for a quick little rotation over at B, but he's going to find him. He takes down one. He takes down the other as well. What a play from the French Phenom, continuing to have his way here on standoff. It's a great awareness to know where Slasher is, and then snap on to Draza as well. Going big right now for NYSL.
It's his Courtyard. Right there, they are in a 3v2 situation. Hydra, he knows that he has to try to make a play. Try to get the guy off bomb, and he does that beautifully. Plays the timing on the Slasher, and then reads Draza as he was wrapping out from that B bomb. Great round right there at Hydra, sitting at 8-2 on another 3 spree. Trying to really seal the deal for New York as you see a couple shots coming in from across the map at Delhi, but look at the pressure coming in from the Thieves. Everybody pushing through that back alley. There's no way NYSL going to read this, and Kenny also picked up one.
Not sure if the folks can hear it at home, but Right now, the crowd is going, let's go Hydra to start off the round. Not only is he just putting in the damage, putting in the kills, but he's also laying down the objective. A man who can do it all. What more could you ask for? Diamondcon. He's going to get found out here soon, unless he can go for the trade. Takes one down for his troubles. With that, it's all on to Asim. Slasher takes down Hydra. 25 seconds left. But how many times have we seen players go big in this square position? But it will not happen here. 2 for 1. Thieves with numbers. Thieves with a defuse. And Thieves with the advantage.
Just a great round right there from the Thieves. Complete blind counter, having 3 players go through the flank. They were able to get the effective trade onto Diamondcon, and then Slasher finds another one to make it a 2v1. And then they also blow up the trophies there. That was a huge part because if they don't, that nade doesn't pick up any information. So the Thieves doing the little things right, and they were able to walk away with the round. Now take the advantage right now, up 3-2, back on the offense.
You'll see what their attacking side will look like. And we talk about their search and destroy often, Stud, right, in regards to the Thieves. In that crazy game 5 they went to versus Toronto. Search and destroy, not so great. They went 3-12 in total round count for that series. That's 2 search and destroys combined. They accounted for 3 rounds. They already have that in this game alone. So at the very least, if you're LA, you're somewhat happier with a search and destroy performance. But by no means is the job done.
Yeah, the job definitely isn't done, man. New York are not giving up anything, though. You see the pressure from the Thieves trying to get this bomb down towards B, but Drazah right through the middle of the map, able to find 2. Even though it gets traded, his team has the man advantage. They know the positioning of both these players at Deli, and you see the rotation going immediately towards that A bomb.
It's just great awareness there from the Thieves. Realizing what they've got, they say, hey, you know what? We've got the numbers. Make them come to us. And so with that, it's Asim on one side, Hydra from the other. Hydra pull off some magic again. 8-3. He's going to spot the head of Kenny. He sees him jumping, but John, keep in mind, does have his cross. He's going to have to step out or make a mistake. Goes for the engagement in guns, John! Good night, Sweet Prince. Asim on the other side, takes down Slasher, and it's all down to Kenny, but Hydra is there for the trade. You have got to be kidding me. Hydra, now 10-3, the 2 versus 3 retake.
It's unbelievable, man. These are the rounds that the Thieves need to be walking away with. You have the man advantage, you have the proper setup, but just those 2 one-on-one engagements go in favor of New York, man. Great work from Hydra, especially towards this backside. Finds his first kill onto John, and then Asim across the map finds that kill on the Slasher. They know the positioning of Kenny. Asim with some shots to make Kenny a little bit weaker as Hydra was able to pick up that kill. These guys are just clutching up right now, man. This is a good game, too, from both of these teams.
Yeah, very back and forth, but it cannot be understated. Look at that. Just, you know, 4-6 from Asim, 2-6 from Diamondcon, 1-6 from Mac, and then Hydra just right there in the center. N-3.
Transport's out, buddy.
N-3. Oh, man. I mean, what? I remember when Hydra first joined this team, right? His hard point was great. Control was, you know, all right. Search, destroy, not great at all. But, boy, as he turned it around, learning so much from his teammates. Just a short amount of time. Slasher for the first, and, of course, it's Hydra for the reply.
I love how this time, though, the Thieves are able to read this play. They knew that they didn't see anything towards bottom brown. Slasher was able to back up, find that first blood, and then the trade came in, but still, Hydra going huge in that back alley on a 4 spree, able to even up the numbers every single time. Now in the 2v2 with 50 seconds left, you're going to see both these players in towards Courtyard. New York, they can either wrap back or push to their base, and it's going to be a really difficult read for the Thieves to try to read it.
Very, very eerie duo for the Subliner still alive. Hydra and Mac, as we know, Mac for the first, gets beat down, but it's the headshot that wins this time. Now it's all on to Kenny. 23 seconds, panic not setting in for this guy. Kylo Ken, been in this spot so many times. It feels like for the first time in a long time, NYSL with numbers, and they will utilize that to get the plant down over at A. And Kenny, with good intuition, obviously knows the B-bomb site is no longer a factor, but can he catch both? Can he catch both from the back? They are literally stacked up right now here inside a square. Attempting to bait and switch, but Hydra, he gets stuck! Hydra gets stuck, and now it's all on to Mac. Mac on the site is able to take it. Oh boy, did it get a little bit dicey there for a moment. Got a little bit scary. Kenny did everything he could, but it's NYSL winning out, and how different would this round be, Stud, if Mac does not win that fight?
Huge one-on-one for Mac right there, but Kenny almost made that happen. Just getting that sticky nade onto the first player. He had Mac absolute one shot. Probably wasn't expecting the challenge, but Mac is a confident player. He was able to close it out for New York, so New York take the advantage now. And with the Thieves back on the offense, so far the aggression has what's been really working for these guys. So you're going to see the pressure coming in from bottom Brown once again. This time around, though, New York have 3 players at the say bomb.
What they can do with it. Asim takes down Kenny to start, and that is a good place to begin if you are New York. Thieves already put in somewhat of an awkward position, again, just with the placement of New York and, say, a B plant. Not the most common, but very well maybe the only thing that they can work with. A Slasher not getting any information at A. That's another nice shot coming in from Asim. That's now the 4 versus 2 advantage toward NYSL. John and Slasher, longtime teammates, world champions together. But I do not envy them in this particular spot, as with 35 seconds left, something's got to be done. And Diamond Con, he's ready to stack him up and knock him down. All on to John. 28 seconds, is able to gun the first, but again, the objective so much bigger that he has to try and accomplish. Time taking away the clock in the back of his mind, and with that, the Subliners now find themselves on 5.
That's game point. It's just early great work from Asim, man. Finding the first blood and then finding the second as well. Backing down to his teammates. 4v2. It's going to be a pretty difficult task to try to get done on the Thieves side, man. New York did not give up anything. Diamond Com was playing safe towards the back of Haystacks, and they were able to close the round. So now New York 1 round away from tying up the series at 1 apiece on the offense. So far, their back alley rush has been working for them. That's 2 rounds in a row where they have executed not to perfection, but still been able to walk away with the round. This time around, you see the Thieves players attacking in towards bottom court. Once again, they're able to find the first, find the second, and just like that, it's a 4v2.
A great answer there if you're the Thieves. You've seen how often Subliners toward this bottom court position see success. This time it is LA when they need it the most. That's just great awareness from Hydra. Tags him up and says, thank you so much for the lane. See what he can do with it. I mean, based off where the Thieves have sit, they're really in the back of their base. It's up to Hydra to try to make the challenge. He falls, and Mac tagged up quite heavily. Positive for young Mackenzie is that he does in fact have the bomb, but take a look at the Alaskan Assassin hot on his heels. Good night. And there is the 4th for the Thieves, 1 round away from round 11. We'll see what the Thieves can do coming up here, Stud.
They need to play defense. They cannot give up a first blood right here, because every time they give up a first blood, New York are capitalizing on it. So if you're the Thieves, you just want to slow down on this offensive push. Try to work this bomb towards A, because they're only having like 1 or 2 players play in towards that site. So you can overwhelm it, you know, blow up the trophies, use your tacticals to try to get into it. But I feel like as long as they match that aggression so far as the last round, they should be straight to try to get it to that round 11.
The aggressiveness will start to pay off, and the Thieves all-out aggression over at A. Ruthless aggression, as we like to call it. That's John Cena. Draza able to take down Asim to begin. But it's Hydra. Long-range shot with the 74U. What is that? What is that? Now at 13. Kenny takes down DC, and with that, it is now into the 2 versus 3. Objective still in the hands of John. Is look to get that one down soon. But boy, has Kenny found himself some very valuable information. Kenny calling out, giving some great communication to his teammates, as they're not confident to go for that point over at A, and you cannot imagine why they shouldn't be. Hydra gets found out, and it is all down to Big Mac. A 1 versus 3 to call this one a game. For what we have, round 11, the plant successful. Boys, this is going to be an uphill battle to try and accomplish. 35 seconds to work with. First job done, taking down Kenny. 2 more to go.
30 seconds left. You have to try to locate both of these players. And I'm pretty sure he was able to spot John, so he knows the positioning of both. How about Kenny pick up this kill, but over the wall, John's going to put up some shots, make him a little weaker. Draza's going to be able to clean it up. So the Thieves, they respond with 2 rounds back-to-back, force it all the way to the round 11. That aggression right there from that last round is what won them it. They open up with that first blood this time around and eventually win the man advantage. Round 11, baby. Round 11.
Love ourselves to round 11. As we said, on land, the crowd is here. Feels like a good old classic Call of Duty series. What is a series without a round 11 after all? But here we go. NYSL will be on the attack, on the offense. The closeout standoff. An early stun. Not allow for ASIM to be all that comfortable there over in Broken. So already off the rip, Subliners with a lack of information. You feel the intensity? I do.
Definitely do, man. 50 seconds left. New York are not budging. No one wants to get first blooded, but John is able to spot Asim on the cross. The trophy's going to come in to save his life. The clock is starting to tick. Thieves have read this play. They are trying to attack towards this A-bomb, so they're just going to go right through and Broken.
Wow.
But Hydra, with that first blood, now they have the man advantage. Thieves are able to trade it. Now it's a 3v3 with 30 seconds. They had to try to get this bomb down quick.
John answers, but take a look at that. Because of the noise that they make over at B, that is going to allow for A to be a successful plant. 23 seconds with the Thieves. They're knocking on the door. John is already rocking right on through. Draws up for the first shot with the second. And now it's all on to Diamondcon. 35 seconds. How long can he delay for? How long until the cavalry arrives? And Slasher will be there to answer back. The Thieves making the comeback in the search and destroy. Down 5 rounds to 3. But now they've got themselves up 2-0 in this series, and you can kiss the standoff S&D streak from the Subliners goodbye.
And you got to be feeling really good if you're the Thieves, man, to come back 5-3. I'm pretty sure as a former player, when you're up 5-3 in a search and destroy, that is the scariest situation to be in, because one round you go in, you're on offense. You lose that one, then you're ending up back on defense. You lose that, you're on the offense again. So that was a much needed win right there for New York. But Thieves, even in the man disadvantage, 3v4 in the very final round, they were able to clutch up. They weren't able to do it versus Ultra. They fixed those little mistakes and get the job done today to take a commanding 2-0 lead in this series.
Raza, man, continuing to flex as he leaves. Love that Alaskan assassin sign. Definitely making him feel quite good. But as you said, man, just a wild search and destroy. Thieves making a major comeback, down 5-3. What you see, Draza, Kenny sitting on what, 20 kills combined. Hydra, I mean, what? We were already thinking about, like, you know, preparing a graphic for what could have been a search and destroy kill record in the CDL after the way that he started off, slows down a bit, and you see the Subliners just not able to hold on. Still, I'll ask you again. I asked you after the first hard point, search and destroy. How much of it do you think has to do with experience now?
It definitely has to come down to some experience. When the crowd is getting into it, you can just tell the Thieves, they've been there. They've done it. They know exactly how they need to execute. 3 men pushing right up the middle of the street is an insane call, but they executed it perfectly to close it out. But I'm pretty sure our scuff play of the game is going to be the round 11 of that final moments of that game too. It was insane, man. I'm telling you, that play call from the Thieves, the 3-man push up the middle of the street, was, it takes some tremendous cojones right there, because they lost that first blood. Hydra pops off with the first one, but then John immediately answers. And then once they do that, they cause so much noise, like you said, Lando, towards that back alley, that I'm pretty sure once Slasher calls out this cross, he's the guy that's initiating this call. He said, hey, there's one guy playing towards the back, let's all push right up the middle. We have the man advantage, and that's exactly how they were able to execute. They find both. 1v3 for Mr. Diamondcon is going to be a difficult task to get done, and the Thieves, they make the comeback happen.
Litigo snaps his finger and says, Thieves, it's time, boys. Let's go ahead and close this one out, as that will be now, after that search and destroy victory, Thieves up 2-0 in this series. Can the Subliners start to rally back? They were able to do it yesterday, but it's going to come on a raid control. That will be their next test, or will it be a 3-0 in favor of the Thieves? Folks, make sure and stay with us as we'll be back in just a moment.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by GameFuel. Unlock a CDL team pack with any purchase on gamefuel.com/CDL while supplies last. Offer ends on August 31st. Tournament audio and team listen-ins are powered by Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the Call of Duty League.
Welcome back, folks, to the Stage 5 Major. It is day 3, and we've only just begun on our journey. What is going to be a 5-map escapade. Here, rather 5-series escapade, as our third map is just a matter of moments away. Raid Control is going to be on our screens here in just a few moments, but let's keep the conversation started right now in the Thieves camp. We're talking specifically about John and Drazah. I mean, what do you make of their numbers so far here at the Major?
Well, it's not the best. Both sitting at 0.8s overall. You can see John is a little bit better in the hard point, in the search and destroy, but Drazah really turns up in the control. Man, at least based off of that last map, it's been tough for these LA Thieves roster because it's still fresh. They've only been together for one stage, so just watching these guys work together, especially in that search and destroy, was beautiful, man. Both of these guys pushing out towards bottom brown. Both of these guys working together in sync to get proper trades going. Like, they were an army of 2 on that map. And if they can put those numbers up a little bit better, you know, get a little bit more confidence really their belt as they try to go on through the rest of this tournament, it's going to be scary, man. It's going to be scary.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think it was a 1.21 for John, a 1.14 for Drazah so far. What, man? The SMG so far from the Thieves, 2 players that we talk about often in regards to consistency. So far, having a great series, and have to be considered when we talk about the 2-0 lead that the Thieves have for right now. But folks, our Game 3 control is going to be up in just a matter of moments. But first, a quick word from our sponsor.
We made USAA insurance for renters who make the most of their space and money. That's why we make it easy to cover the stuff you love for as little as 33 cents a day. USAA, what you're made of, we're made for.
All right, stud. Like we said, just a matter of moments away. Now we're going to take a look at our quick scope presented by Scuf. I mean, we can talk about hardpoint, we can talk about search and destroy all day, but now it's time for some control. And so far throughout stage 5, it is NYSL with the lead.
Yeah, NYSL right there with a positive record of 4-3 compared to LA Thieves who are 2-4. Hasn't been really a strong game mode for the Thieves, but on the side of New York, with this new roster though, they are 3-1 in their control. The only loss that they have that came in that game mode was versus FaZe. That's a tough task because they're #1 in that game mode. So this is where New York, this is that backbone. This is the way that they're able to fight back into this series. We saw it happen yesterday versus Florida, winning 3 offenses on checkmate. Still has me mind blown. They can definitely try to get the job done here and continue on the series, try to force it to that map 4.
And I loved it too, because I was like, you know, what was your biggest takeaway? You're like, the fact that they won as many offenses they did on checkmate. It was so funny to hear your thoughts. And that was the big takeaway, and obviously, understandably so, given the craziness that we will witness from time to time. But as we mentioned, Thieves up 2-0 in the series. Subliners looking for some life, but like we said, man, just 24 hours ago, I guess you could say just a little over 24 hours, or rather just under 24 hours ago, the Subliners were put in this very position versus the Mutineers. And they were able to rally back in control. Granted, as we mentioned, a different map, but still the same mode. It's been their best since the departure of Clay, and they're going to need it now. Because here we go, into round 1 here on some Raid. Quick back and forth trade to start. Thieves, specifically Drazah, controlling the middle lane as he'll be there to take down Diamond Con. A nice little 2-0 start for him. Waterside clear, and now NYSL focus their attention at A.
Just some good answers right off the rip from the Thieves, man. They find 3 kills over there towards that B site. They shut down that initial push, and now New York are all trying to fight out of their base. You have to keep in mind that #2 in Drazah. It's only a matter of time before he tries to set up this pinch, but Hydra was able to read it. But still, New York not able to get on any of these points. So much pressure on the map right now from the Thieves, having been map control, being pushed up in ring. Once they find these kills, they're able to get on towards this point. It's all about, can they find the kills after, as Mac and Diamond find kills.
That's a big one from John. That's a big one from John to start. He's got 2 more to go. Now make it 1 more to go. Delaying anything the Subliners can do, and they've already had a little bit of a shakier start to this attack. 35 seconds left, and John goes big. Kenny's there to help him out. The Subliners begin to answer. Keep in mind, Hydra says, you know what? This B area is quite a bit open. I might as well help my teammates out from afar. Back and forth we go. The clock for a moment paused at 30 seconds, but it continues to tick away as all of the Thieves focus over at that A zone, when in reality it is Hydra leading the group off of his play, gets the information, and now leads with the slang. He and Asim combined for 2 inside of Money Widow. It's 27 and some change on the clock. The 3 stack is in, and the Thieves now put in a precarious position. Slasher doing everything he needs to rip, as there goes Mac. Final player once more is Hydra, trying to stay alive on the point, but as he leaves, it's the subliners who have rotated.
Just great work right there from New York, causing so much problem at that B point, getting 2 ticks of progression as well. Leaves the opening for them to get on this A and eventually extend this time by a minute. We are tied in lives right now, but the Thieves, they respond with 3 of their own. Last player is going to be Mac in towards Ring. He's going to be able to pick up 1, but they're trying to get the trade quick. They're trying to put them in the spawn trap, but he's able to find 2. Hydra wins that gunfight towards Bedroom as well. So now this is the opening that New York need to try to take control of the map. They already have Bedroom. They just have to try to go towards Kitchen now.
And it can't be understated. I mean, again, we had 27 seconds left before New York had really even gotten any single bit of progression on any of these zones. They tease it over at A. Hydra makes the play and really leads the group from there. Just a masterclass toward the end of this attacking round. Based on how it started for the subliners, but 2 begin to line up from Kenny. Nearly had the 3rd, but it is all back and forth kills. Nearly half the lobby drops, and now it is a 3 versus 5 in terms of lives. Thieves at the disadvantage with 38 seconds left and a tick still to go for New York. They're trying to edge out Kennedy to make their lives that much more easy, as it is all down once more to John and Slasher. Can they hold the line? 25 seconds to work with, but subliners, again, the objective on their mind, but it's strictly about the slang at this moment. John actually puts away 2. John puts away 2, nearly turns on the 3rd. Sets up Slasher for success, but it's going to be New York who wins off of lives. It got a little bit dicey. John had an answer, but subliners, they walk away with the round.
That one was scary, man. I felt that John put himself in a great position right there to try to close out that round, or at least even up the numbers for the side of the D's. But what New York did so great right there was just the pressure towards B. Once they were able to get 2 ticks of progression there, they immediately rotate towards A, they cap it, they extend it by a minute, and then just great work from Hydra and the entire team just working through Kitchen, properly setting up that pinch, chaining those kills together, and eventually closing out that round. Good round right there out of New York to try to keep their hopes alive.
Yeah, and as we said, in a major spot, they're able to hunt for information and really just kind of allow for the defense to feel dazed. You make them go back and forth. It's the Thieves who had them in a really good hold for a while, but the subliners break on in, as now it's their turn. Try here on attack. It's Straza getting some early work done here inside of Tiki. He and the rest of the squadron will look to try to progress as far as they can, but when will this push begin to look more successful? Back-to-back headshots there from LA. The Slasher puts away the other. It's a quick rotation for subliners. They're thinking, hey, they're surely going to go for the rotated A, when in reality, not at all the case. The close spawn is going to keep LA here at this B capture zone.
Yeah, and they only have 1 player in towards Money, so it seems going to have to try to go big. They're trying to get on this B point. They're able to do so. Mac wins a huge gunfight in towards the middle of the map. Pitch is going to be here. They just have to try to find these kills, or at least wait for Hydra on the pinch. He's able to find 1, but still a great job from the Thieves, picking up kills left and right. Still have the live advantage, but there's only 30 seconds left. They have to try to complete 1 of these points to extend this time.
Starts to enter in. Draza, he's waiting for him. Slasher is actually able to drop 2 in the meantime, so Thieves will be able to clear out the point, and it's the subliners who are spawning over toward the other side of the map, over at Laundry. Diamond kind of gets some work done, but subliners off of spawn. It is DC on the Path of Fury. 2 ticks through. NYSL, they've got to get an answer if they want to wipe him off the point. Diamond Khan continues to roll. That's going to be 4 in a row for him. Finally cut down from Kenny, who I thought for a moment nearly fell off the map. Not at all the case. He's still alive. 17 seconds. Time starting to tick in LA. They've got to get something done. Some great presence right now from John for the cutoff. They've got 2 players in the point and 1 man watching their kitchen, as John has got a lovely little recipe. Lays down the trophy and now puts the pressure on New York. An extra minute now added to their time.
And they have a 6 live advantage. So the Thieves, if I'm them, you're just going to start to play TDM from this point on. At least try to set up a couple spawn kills. With that trade comes in, He's still putting pressure on the back. They're trying to force all of New York to spawn out towards lower basketball. They know that the rest of the players have control of Art. Someone has to try to find that opening. Hydra and Mac, though, finding two is going to relieve the pressure from the Thieves players. Is Draza still in the backside? Trying to make a play for his team, at least stall time. But New York, they stopped that push, and now they're going to be able to set them up in the trap.
Very well established right now are the subliners. Again, they've got everybody just hanging out inside a garage. Try to make the Thieves form a conga line, but Asim is ready for the instant challenge. He drops. The nade falls at his feet, and with that, the Thieves now one final push really to make 8-7, now 7-6 in terms of lives. It could start to become a little bit of a problematic spot if you are the attacking team in LA, but Mac continuing to take down players over at the driveway side. Hydra's taking players through the wall. And with that, the Thieves left with no respawns now. Draza stopping the clock at 6.6 seconds. But it's Hydra continuing. That's 5 in a row for him. He gets cut down. Kenny, the farthest pushed up player, and Slasher, the sole man alive, is not going to get to the point in time. The subliners going big, not just on offense, but now here on defense, as that is a 2-0 advantage here in the control.
I feel like the situation that really hurt the Thieves right there in that moment was when they had 3 down. Slasher was the only one on that B point. John pushed up towards back jungle. Both of the players are still in spawn, getting spawn killed. So, unless they were trying to get a stack going there, I feel like LA Thieves should have committed towards A. Like, they took way too long trying to get that B capture. New York, they kept on making it stagnant, kept trading on the kills back and forth, and it just wasted so much time on the round that Thieves really didn't have enough to work with towards the end of stages. But back on the defense, they go for the Thieves. New York are in a commanding lead right now. This time, the pressure is going to be over towards this A site. Draza finds one, Mac with the trade. So far, there's a lot of pressure from New York on this A point. They're not able to get on it, though, because the Thieves are able to put a couple kills together.
He spent a few moments at that fight, tries to soar into the kitchen, but it's Draza who's taking out his heels. Lovely little exchange there, but that presence from Asim, that strong aggressiveness, will award the subliners now with a lane at A. Without a doubt, one of the best attacking rounds that we've seen to start. Isn't saying a whole lot, but here's the Thieves. May look to give this one up. Again, that's 2 ticks through. Do they go for the challenge? They're holding inside of pillars, so they will try to push this. They're going to go for the early attacks as John laying down the fire, but Mac is there to take him down. He and Asim combined for 2, and with that, that will be the A zone awarded to the subliners.
And New York doing a great job, man. That's 3 kills in a row, so they're up by 3 lives. You see the pressure starting to come in from kitchen. Thieves have to take control of bedroom. You see what Kenny's doing. He leaves his teammate at bedroom because he's trying to set up for this pinch, trying to help his teammates in towards kitchen. This time they read it, though. They were not allowing Draza to make that play that John just made. Hydra finds 2, and the pinch is going to be here. Slasher and John have to try to go big, but they eliminate him. Now it's all on John in bedroom. But Draza off spawn, able to find one in money.
And that is a huge kill for Draza to find. He doesn't do that. How much better are the subliners into not just getting a better start at B, but maybe even closing out this map. Again, one more round away from this being a quick 3-0 here in the control. If you're subliners, you want to get this one done as quick as possible. Get yourself straight into the hard point, but this job is still to be done. Ivan Khan led the charge in round 2. Can he do it in round 3? Hydra found sprinting as per usual, but Slasher's there to take him down. So minute 7. All 8 players somewhat in regard to the fight. Who's going to be the player to start something off? That is a great shot from Asim. So we asked who's going to make the play. Didn't expect it to be that, but it works out.
Yeah, so now this is the opening that the Thieves, that New York are looking for. Hydra does find 2 in kitchen. So now the last 2 players are going to be in towards basketball and top pocket. If you're New York, you just want to get a stack going. The first tick of progression is going to come in. Slasher from the top ropes, accidentally hitting the assassination. But Mac, unfortunately, is going to pick up that kill onto, Diamondcon onto Mac. That threw me off a little bit, but the Thieves, they're able to respond, hold on the defense. And now with 40 seconds left, New York still had the live advantage, but not too many pushes to try to get this round closed.
I'm going to imagine that was not intentional. I'll go and say, I'm going to imagine it probably wasn't.
Definitely wasn't
meant to be, but it at least makes it a little more interesting for us. Here we go. 25 seconds left. Slasher Actually does get dropped once more from Asim, continuing to lead the charge. Is he? And that's going to be 3. That's 3 to fall. Kenny, and the last player back here, draws and drops inside a mansion, and there you have it. That could be the stack. John has to get here in time. Getting around the corner, 16 seconds on the clock, and look at that zone start to move. Somebody has got to get here, but John, he kills himself with the nade, and nobody from the Thieves is in position to try and take over the zone, as the Subliners will answer back in a major way, a 3-0 in this control. As that is now 4 control victories in a row for this team. So as we said yesterday, it's what brought them back to complete the reverse sweep versus the Mutineers. And that is a great way to start versus the Thieves.
Great way to start indeed, man. Getting a clean 3-0. This is the game mode that you have been relying on ever since this new roster has been formed. So now, this is exactly the position that you're in.
Watch this again.
You look at the assassination though. Let's watch it again. I can't believe it. That's unintentional, I promise. Slasher, he's trying to get the shot punch there, but Diamondcon, he helps him a little bit. But if you're New York, you gotta be feeling really good. You at least stay alive in this series. You're gonna force it to that map number 4. And it's going to be Apocalypse Hardpoint. LA Thieves have not seen a lot of success all year long, as they are 1-6 on that map. New York, I don't know. It's a good start to try to complete this reverse sweep.
Absolutely, my friend. Did that sign say hot, by the way? I don't know what that means. I actually have no idea. Maybe I'm missing something. Is it initials? I'm really not sure. But folks, it is the Subliners who do answer back in a major way here in this control. A 3-0 to now try and lead the charge through a game 5. But before we get there, it is Apocalypse Hardpoint, which is going to be on your screens in just a moment. Alrighty, folks, welcome back to Major 5. It is day 3 in Series 1 as we're about to hop into our 4th map of what has been a truly back and forth type of battle. But before we really kind of dive more into it, we got to talk about what is on the line. And it's fair to say there's quite a bit. I tell you what, man, $200,000 for first. In general, a $500,000 prize pool. Pretty nice. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I'd take that, you know?
100%, man. That's a big bag since you're out to secure over the weekend. Both of these guys trying to get into the money with this win right here. But as we take a look at the maps and modes, you're going into an Apocalypse Hardpoint. LA Thieves, they haven't really seen a lot of success on this, as they are 1-6 on the season compared to NYSL, who are 4-4. And as when you take a look at these game 1 stats for the Thieves versus NYSL, you can, John, 3 minutes in Hill. Damn, he was doing it all. 26 kills, 3 minutes. Draza also with 30. The SMGs really stepped up. And on a map like Apocalypse, you need these guys, once again, to have that same exact performance.
Yeah, you definitely do. And I tell you what, that's going to be one of the higher, totals that we've seen across the entire year.
3 minutes.
Inside of the Hill. John, my friend, I mean, you deserve to go out and find yourself some kills, but the objective man maybe sealed the overall difference. But as we said, it was a checkmate hardpoint in that game number 1. Thieves, obviously started off quite well. It was New York who actually tried to make the comeback, brought themselves ever closer. But now we've got to focus ourselves into Apocalypse. Stud, who do you look out for on a map like this for either team? Is it the SMGs, the ARs, a certain player?
I'm 100% looking at the SMGs. For NYSL, I'm looking at Hydra because he has the potential to pop up on a map like Apocalypse. Yeah. The SMGs, they have to be be aggressive on the map. Make sure that pressure is going to be there to make sure that they consistently are keeping those spawns, flipping when they need to, and just keeping control of the map. And then on the opposite side for the Thieves, I'm looking at a player like John because John, he has the ability to really step up and go head-to-head with Hydra as he is an MVP throughout the Call of Duty history. Yeah. But on a map like Apocalypse, they haven't really seen a lot of success. So you need your SMG players to really step up here.
Yeah. Not a great one historically for the Thieves. Subliners, not been O2 kind of them lately. If we do remember that series, they started off versus the Gorillas. They did drop the Apocalypse 250 to 38. And, the numbers do serve us right, which they do in this situation. LAG, not a team that you want to lose to in Hardpoint. It's just, somewhat straight up. We love you, Gorillas. But still, Subliners, and having a ton of presence inside of P1, their focus is trying to set up for next. And with teams having those spawns in their possession, they're going to shut them down right at the door. So 25 seconds left. It's been a pivot back and forth for New York. They do have the man count advantage if they want to try to aggress this at P1. John revealing his shoulder for time. That's now going to be 3 in a row for him. LAT keeping spawns. Things getting a little bit dicey toward the end, but with the final 8 seconds, this is a great start for LA.
Great start indeed, man. The fact that they were able to get a good chunk of time off that P1 and keep the spawns for P2. They just have to hold this first push, and you see how far pushed up John is on the map. Slasher finds 2, John finds a 3rd. So New York are going to be a little slow trying to break into this. LA Thieves will have the hill uncontested for a little bit. As you see the pressure from New York starting to approach towards the middle of the map. Thieves, they have a great setup right now. It's going to be difficult for New York to try to get into this one.
Well, Slasher, he's beaming 2. That's actually going to be 5 in a row here for Slasher, as he'll look to also make ASIM part of his highlight reel. 1 more kill away from a streak. 65-9, and that lead is only going to get bigger here for LAT. Grand Apocalypse, a map where easily the game can start to sway back and forth, but you are not mad about this whatsoever. If you are for the boys in red, and I know quite a few of you in the crowd are. Slasher finally taken down, earned the streak, but that presence from the Thieves cannot be understated as they'll grab the final few seconds. It is an 80-point lead after our first 2 hills.
And that artillery can be so impactful on the side of the Thieves if they want to try to break it towards P4. So they need to do a good job of at least keeping this P3 a contest fest. But with them finding 3 kills, they're going to be able to break in easy. New York have not had a response yet. They have been late to the show, at least on the first 3 hills. As the Thieves are fully set up, you see number 4, though. Look what he's doing. He's making sure that he's keeping control of Broken. He's trying to make sure no pinches are going to come in. And I'm pretty sure once his teammates are finding all of his kills, Slasher's going to just decide to push straight on through, or at least rotate to help his teammates. But still a great job so far from the Thieves, already up 100 points.
Jason trying to lead by example as he now sits on 3 in a row. It is 110-12. Subliners have got to wake up, or their tournament hopes. Their lives here at stage 5 major are going to be done, as that's now 5 in a row for ASIM, continuing to heat up. But as you said, Stud, holding the spawns with Slasher. LAT, the first ones there at the point, but they're going to get the final few scraps here at bottom lights, and now they're set up for Turtle. It's not going to be an easy one, but let's see how the comms sound right now with the Subliners, given this moment, given this time in the game. Let's go to an Astro Listen now with the Subliners as the streak rolls in.
He's close. Close in here.
Watch your left, Mac.
I got 2.
One purple cup, back coop. Where's the ammo truck?
Ammo truck coming.
He's one here.
He's coop, I'm staying down, he could push out.
Let me know if they slide out, I can start.
Still there.
He's close.
One is front,
I don't have a trophy.
I got one. Cube in front.
Cube.
He's on hold. Hold this rotation.
Watch out, dead.
Okay.
I'm watch out, not playing.
Shoulder your front.
There's two new, two old. Draza and Slasher.
I'm just shimmying down low, guys.
Yep. Paco, I'm looking at L, okay?
One child. 2L. One in all.
Paco.
They're going cube, I'm pretty sure.
Ivory coop.
Ivo.
Coop.
Two coop. I can chip you, need help, let me know.
One close.
Yeah, I'm shitting.
One truck dead.
I drop your L. Yeah, one's in front window. He might jump up.
Okay. I have a front window.
Right, full window, top.
Top really weak. Need him.
Top, I have a nade. Top that.
Stack low.
Yeah, I'm stacking. Old.
I your child, Mac. Tell him, can you really?
Kill one.
See that, did it.
One.
It's three. Alright, just show. Hold
Missing one.
He's down here.
Hold on, it's time. We're back in the game.
Nice, Mike.
Yeah,
Just 30 seconds. Very important.
I'm top P5. Ivory L.
Stay top.
Yeah, stay top.
Ultra top only.
Yeah, I have top TV. Jump. Nothing peeking TV.
Go low now.
Nothing P1 peeking. Nothing top TV.
I'm with you. Wait, Mike, wait.
I can bump you.
Go,
Mike. Go.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm good.
P3.
P3 dead.
On the right, dead.
Two.
I'm on 5.
Low streaks.
No, it's low. Oh, you're top 3. Nice.
Low.
One's
yeah,
he's gonna go coop.
Well, Stud, I think it's fair to say, man, we heard a voice that obviously we do hear often, but not that much. I mean, that is probably the most vocal that we have ever heard Hydra be in a listening. Definitely has got to be a pain, but take a look at that number 6 arrow. It's Hydra on the flank, trying to make the play, trying to delay for as long as possible, but Kenny, he's gonna get the call out. He's gonna read him, shuts him down. As the Thieves only continue to rain on through. The Subliners down 100 points again. And if you're looking at your mini-map, you're seeing, hey, okay, where's the next rotation? Thieves are there. The Thieves are prepared once more.
But they have to hold this push. You see what New York are doing. They were able to find that kill onto John. So now the spawns have flipped. The Thieves have to try to hold this from the front. And pressure's going to be here. But Slasher with the first, Hydra with the nade. Kills going back and forth. But New York eventually trying to break in. As that's going to be a clean 4 dead. The spawns for the Thieves are coming in at Temple. You saw it the first go around that New York were able to do a great job at this P4 and P5 to get back in. They need to have the same response here to try to get this game closer in that scoreline.
That's great. That's great work. Again, Mac, he's watching or back coop. He was aware of the fight. It's great work right now from the Subliners, but a mere gap does open up now for the Thieves. Kenny waltzes his way through. It's now that Slasher and Kenny to combine for a few. Hydra needs to go big on the point. Again, that's 3 players from the Thieves. They're going to be in this position. They have got to delay. They have to contest for at least 1 to 2 seconds, and they will do exactly that. But take a look at Kenny. Pulls out the 74U. It is now going to try to spoil the party. 6 more points for the Thieves, and Kylo Ken is making one of the biggest plays of the game. He gets dropped, and Subliners, they do have the spawn. But Stud, the Thieves, they only need 6 more seconds.
Well, right now, New York, they're holding. They did a great job at this P5 first go around, and if Diamond Con currently on the 2 spree can try to turn up right here and pick up some streaks, that's the answer that they need. As you see, three Thieves players approaching towards lower trenches, as Seam and Diamond are able to take care of those. And only being down 60 points, it's a good chunk of time here. They have to be able to chain it to that P1 and at least don't really focus on flipping those spawns, but just getting some good time off of this P1 as they're eventually going to break that 200-point mark. The pinch is trying to come in, but they're doing a great job once again on this P5 to get back into this one.
Yeah, a great hold. But again, now the task only continues to elevate itself. You brought yourself somewhat back in the game, but with 6 points needed from the Thieves, things start to get dicey, but that's going to be 3 down. The Subliners answer, and take a look at where those arrows are at. Take a look at where those arrows are at from the Thieves. They've spawned over in no man's, and if they can win this fight, that would have been huge. Slasher, once again, winning a major 1v1. He's going to stay in the spot. Oh, look who spawns here. Look who spawns there. It's Hydra who takes them down. John's trying to stay alive in the point, but now it's Kenny's turn. That's going to be 2. Hydra into the 1 versus 1. Needing to stay alive. Having to try and contest, but it's Kenny again. It's Kenny going big. 3 more points. Mac, the Subliners trying to do everything they can just to keep this game alive. Another 1v1. But it's Asen who's able to win it. 247, 232. Can the Subliners continue to rally? The Thieves, realizing that their lead has slipped away. A 5-point game. Can John get here in time? He starts to contest. He starts to contest. They can win it here. The Thieves can win it, and they will. They hop in the point at the last second possible, and they will call this series theirs. Oh my God. What was that? What was that? That was nearly
my God.
200-point comebacks made from the subliners. They bring it back, and with 1 second remaining at P1, they close it out.
That was an insane game 4 between both of those teams. The Thieves, they were in the driver's seat the whole time, but New York, they kept on having a great response at that P5. Held it for 60s both times around, and then towards the very end of that game, finding those 3 kills and eventually flipping those spawns. I know Hydra, he just got blessed with a spawn to spawn right behind Slasher, but they were just going back and forth with those trades, man. The Thieves knew if they did not put pressure on that P1, then the game was going to be over because New York had the spawns, they had the setups, they were picking up the kills, but with about 5 seconds left, Thieves were able to break it in those final moments into that P1 and close it out. But wow, what a start to the day.
That was madness. That was absolute madness. You've got to give a lot of props to both of our teams. Again, as we said, our first series now back on land with a crowd. And these two teams absolutely deliver. But it cannot be understated. Thieves, obviously, they move on. That will be the end of the Subliners journey here at the Stage 5 Major. Again, the series is not done. Rather, their season is not done. They still will have champs to look forward to. But what does that say about the Thieves walking away with another big win?
Clutching up, man. They are going to continue to go on. Like I said I'm pretty sure it was last week at the last home series, this is my dark horse team. They have the ability to cause some upsets, to try to make a deep run into the losers, and that's exactly what was able to happen here. With a match like this, though, this is going to be great for the Thieves because you want one of these close matches right off the rip, because once you get over that beginning jitters, you know, the fans being back, everything else is just smooth sailing, and that's a way to start the tournament, at least for the Thieves, in the win column.
Yeah, and I want to ask you too. I mean, you know, when we talk about this Thieves team, again, obviously we talk about it. They send the Ultra all the way to a Game 5, incredibly impressive. We leave that series talking about how, hey, they were able to win the hard points, and you know that was really about it. But now that they get the job done here versus the Subliners, how do you feel about the Thieves versus the Empire now?
That one is a little scary.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be a great matchup between both of those teams. But if the Thieves make those mistakes in Search and Destroy, even though they clutched up today, Dallas is going to be able to capitalize it. That needs to be their main focus when they're going up against that team.
Yeah. Well, the job at least is done for now if you are the LA Thieves. And I believe we actually have Jess standing by with good old Kylo Ken.
Thank you so much, Lando. That's right. We are here with Kenny for your Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. Make some noise! So, Kenny, congrats on that win. What was it like to play in front of fans again?
Felt amazing. After the first map, I could just feel the whole experience just coming back to me. Overall, you guys are amazing, and it was just so fun.
So, you're just one win away from making it to the top 4. What is it going to take to beat out Empire?
Well, we're looking really good at hardpoint right now. Obviously, those got kind of sketchy, but I think we need to work on our control like ASAP and look over our maps to see what we're doing wrong. I feel like that's what's holding us back right now.
Well, before I let you go, since we are back in front of fans again, any messages for the fans out there?
I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Once again, Kenny with your Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. Back on over to the casters.
Thank you so much, Jess. I'll tell you what, man, that's a series to remember. My goodness, those hard points coming down to the wire. And as we've said, the crowd being so welcoming. But we got to revisit what was the end of that hard points. That I feel like I need to look at this like 50 more times to truly understand what went down. But talk to me, man. Walk us through our scuff play of the game, the wild end to that apocalypse.
Yeah, so New York, off the rotation, they were able to find 3. And with Hydra spawning back here, they were able to flip those spawns. Kills going back and forth. You see New York, they are in the power position, at least right now. The Thieves doing a great job, though, of just finding these kills, trying to play the contest game in towards this P1. Kenny wins a huge one-on-one versus Hydra to at least get some more time on the clock for the Thieves. But New York, they were able to break in. Now they have the spawns. They find another 3 dead. Asim eventually finds the kill as well. So with only 20 seconds left, New York can still get the job done here. They just had to make sure that in the back of their mind, they do not allow these spawns to flip.
Gotcha.
But you see the way that the Thieves approach this. They have 2 players going towards low trenches, 1 player attacking in from Coop. They find that first kill. Eventually, they set up that pinch and they were able to close it out. Just keep in mind, if they weren't able to get those 3 seconds previously on that P1, then it would have went to a P2 and New York would be forced into game 5. But they knew exactly what the situation was, as long as they needed to win those gunfights and just get in for those final 3 to close it out.
My goodness, what a series. What a way to start off the day. Oh my goodness, a series that went back and forth, but a well-deserved win out of the Thieves. Round 11 search and destroy, both hard points that were within just mere seconds. Unbelievable stuff, but folks, we have got more action still to come after the break. It is Lottie and Nameless breaking down what we just saw and the game that's coming up next.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, we have got quite a game on our hands coming up next. But I tell you what, Subliners do fall to LA Thieves. You can see them right now, the elimination round 3. Thieves 3-1. It started with Hardpoint and it ended with Hardpoint. Some big stuff there from LA Thieves. And I gotta say, I think Subliners, I just want to talk quickly about the checkmate Hardpoint, because at the end of that, managing to contest P5 and hold Thieves there from getting that last 5 points, while then doing so rotating to P1 and trying to hold that down to try and get as many points as possible to secure the win. I mean, it was just so problematic to me, because at the end it was very hectic. But they just didn't have enough of angles covered. I mean, not looking down A Street, not making sure that they couldn't get collapsed on, which is basically what happened there. Really, it was the story of the entire series for me, and it kind of happened again on that last hardpoint. First of all, too little too late, and second of all, that big bounce back that they were having, just not being able to hold it down enough to really seal the deal and take it to the game 5, just shows me the holes that were in the gameplay for New York there. But I gotta say, great effort. But what I want to know from you, Nameless, is based on what you saw on the screen there, how much of what you saw was what Thieves were doing right compared to what New York potentially weren't doing enough of?
Yeah, it's a bit of both, but you know, looking at New York, man, they just make so many mistakes, especially in the hard point. And I said it in the pre-show that they were going to have to take one and force that game 5, and I like their chances there. And right here, unfortunately, they're not able to do it. And you know, at the end of both of these hard points, now they make mistakes throughout it, right? But at the end is when it really gets hectic, when you have to clutch up. This one right here, for example, when they get the clean wipe in this hill at the very end, they could have just pushed up, right? You could push down low, you could push into chicken coop, and you could fight the LA Thieves players and stagger their push, and you still can win off of that hill. Either way, you're going to spawn in the back at New, right? So there's a mistake, and then you go back to checkmate. Like you said, Lottie, at the very end of that map, Diamondcod played inside of a corner, Hydra sat inside a tube. They didn't challenge out front. They played scared, and LA Thieves are able to bully their way in, get control, and close it out at the end. So for New York, I mean, they're so damn good. They're keeping it very close despite those mistakes throughout. But at the end, when it's crunch time, you got to be able to clutch up and take the win.
Totally. It was also awesome to hear Hydra really speak up in the Astro Gaming listening as well, which was really
He's
cool.
leading the pack.
His English is spot on. Well, I'll tell you what, that was a good match. And I'll tell you what, I bet it felt pretty good to play in front of that live crowd. I'm talking about you, Dallas fans. Love to see you guys in the arena, watching the matches. We can hear you from home. I hear you guys getting very, very loud. Now, obviously, having a live crowd there feeds into that energy in the room. And Nameless, as an ex-pro player yourself, what does the crowd do to you as a competitor on that main stage?
Yeah, it gets you extra hype, right? Like when you make a big play, the fans are going to let you know it, but also you know you can't get turned on either. So it's just extra energy to the team to fuel that fire. When you stand up and you're getting hype, you can look out, you see the rest of the fans as well getting hype, especially after maps. And I know there's quite a bit of FaZe fans out there as well, and they're going to be coming up soon. So let me see some FaZe ups if you guys can hear me.
Love to hear that. Well, I'll tell you what, Nameless, that was a perfect transition because FaZe is actually facing their hardest road they've had so far in a major. However, come on, let's be honest. If somebody can do it, it's going to be FaZe that are going to be able to make this journey here. But, you know, obviously they've got a few competitions ahead of them here. I just want to know, you know, what you think of FaZe overall and the journey that they have to go on. What do you expect out of this team right now?
Well, there's some heavy hitters in the losers bracket, but no one hits harder than FaZe. I mean, this team, they're just incredible. Every single player in this roster, they've won 3 out of 4 majors. And let me give you guys a quick stat here. The last time they lost a match in a major, they went into the losers bracket, they came back and won that major, and then they went on a 10-match winning streak after that, including another major win. So when they lose, it lights a fire under them, and they're able to streak it together and get a win. So if anything, FaZe is looking at this like, okay, we can go through the losers bracket, get some momentum, and when we get into the finals and these guys are waiting for us, we're going to have that fire, that extra energy to take it down. So I still have them taking it.
Well, you know what? I've got to agree with you there. I think the fire is definitely in their bellies. It's under their seats. It's with you guys in the arena. I am so excited to get into this and start potentially that comeback journey. But we shall see. Now, they take the stage in moments against Seattle's Surge, and I hope you all are ready to watch FaZe potentially bounce back from what was quite a sad loss so far in this major. But I'll tell you what, Major 2, Match 2, coming away right after the break.